This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas. Magazine publisher and entrepreneur Judith Mancini is sharing captivating conversations with experts in their field about the latest trends in our ever-changing world to help you become healthy, wealthy, and wise. Judith Mancini today will spark your interest and inspire you to lead your best life ever. And now, here's Judith.
Hello, everybody. Good morning to you and good afternoon to you, since we're on split time between the East Coast and the West Coast. Boy, the East Coast and that area back there has had some really disastrous things going on, and the same in Texas and all. It's just been tragic again with all of these floods and what's going on. And then there's all this dirt going on. I mean, the kind you eat and play in, but also dirt concerning other people. That's never a good thing to get involved in that, but it sure sells on television, on the cable stations. They're not cable stations, they're internet stations now or something. I was just talking to my fabulous engineer, Juan, about how everything changes all the time. I was telling him how I got hacked. Again, this has happened to me several times, and it happened twice within 3 weeks of cards. I've been waiting in the mail, on the mail, to get me my 2 cards. One of them came and one of them hasn't come. It's coming today, supposedly. Really beware of hackers. I put incognito on. I liked it before. I just took it off. I don't know why. Because I figure I have an Apple laptop, and they always say they have all of this security on it and all. Well, I'm here to tell you, I get very weird emails. I'm not even going to discuss them with you, except to say, don't open anything you don't recognize, because that gives them just the right amount of time to dig even deeper in your information. Just hit that delete button immediately. Get rid of them. You know, I think I once told you about a couple of my girlfriends who are my age and older, and you know, I'm 79, and they were older, and a couple of years ago, it was going around that these kids would impersonate their grandchildren and ask for money to be sent to them. And I had 2 of my friends send like $10,000 to these people. So it happens. Don't open anything you don't recognize. And the same with your cell phone. You see this thing? This can get you in deep, deep trouble with calls that you don't recognize. They will record your voice. They'll clone your voice, which is what they're doing, not recording your voice. I would assume they're cloning it right there and then. And then they'll start calling and asking all sorts of things and trying to get into bank accounts and blah, blah, blah. Don't even open them to see who it might be. And if you're calling a business and you think they're going to have to call you back, you get the number that they're going to call you back from. Say you need a plumber. So you call the plumbing company and they say, well, we're going to have to call you back so I can send you the information on who we've scheduled, and we'll send you an email too. So give us your email and give us your phone number, and we'll get back to you. So now you're looking at strange numbers and you didn't write down what she said or he said. So you have no idea what phone number they're calling from. So you keep opening these phone calls. Hello, hello. that gives them just enough time to clone your voice and use it to get into other things. Believe me, I'm not happy with how fast everything is moving, but that's me. I'm an old woman now, but I still have a brain, and I'm having a hard time keeping up with it. It just annoys me. Fortunately, I have Juan every week, and I try to do it a little bit early with him so I can ask him questions. I just asked him one today that I can't wait to use to help me out here. And he's just so sweet and knowledgeable. He just knows everything about this kind of thing. So thank you again, Juan. I really appreciate you. And I have fun talking to you too. So best engineers, that's what Dean, the owner of the station, has. Really fun, knowledgeable people working for him. So if you want to do a podcast, which is so popular, again, it's on all the sites, how to make money, start a podcast. I'm here to tell you, you don't want to do it yourself. You want to go through somebody, some company that has the engineers and everybody who can help you, and they put it on all of these 100 plus stations, and that's the way to go. Don't do your own podcast from home trying to keep up with all of it. And if you're like in a studio or something, you might want editing. They're into that too. So try it out, talk4media.com. Talk4Media. Is that right, Juan? I hope that's how they can get it. Talk4Media. That's it. Okay, so here we go. I said, let's get down and dirty. I've got all the dirt and you will be shocked. First, I'm going to talk about this cyclosporiasis. Cyclosporiasis. Oh, I don't know why they have to come up with stupid names. This one sounds like it has chlorophyll in it, but it doesn't. What it lands on, this is a parasite, and it causes epidemics places because people don't know that much about it anymore. So they've had to go out, and the different organizations are exploring it. Apparently, it comes on leafy produce, and it lives in the dirt, crawls into the plant. You go and you buy it at Trader Joe's or Ralph's or Stater Brothers or Publix, some of the markets that are back east, like Publix. I used to love to go into my local Publix in Florida. Anyway, it's the fresh produce, and it's so easy to contract the parasite. You can't see it. These worms and things are so very tiny that most of the time you can't see them. You can't see them on the fish. You can't see them on the produce. So you pack it up and you take it home and you think it's clean, but it's not. Now, what you want to do is wash it under water, running water, shake it out, and do it again. And don't put any soap or anything on it. You want to just use the water to wash your hands before and after, and wash them with soap or something that's going to get that off your hands, because it is easily transferred. What you don't want to do when you, excuse me, it's my voice again. What you don't want to do is go to your local favorite store, or, well, let's do the store first. You know, you can get those bags of produce like spinach, baby spinach. You can get basil. You can get all the different kinds of lettuce, radicchio, iceberg, anything. And it says pre-washed, triple washed. So you open up the bag and you just throw it into your salad bowl and you toss it around with whatever you're eating. And the next thing you know, you have terrible, terrible stomach cramps and diarrhea that won't stop. You're profusely running to the bathroom and profusely pooping constantly. And it's very dangerous. And then you become very dehydrated. So then that adds to your illness. They so far haven't told me anything they're using to get rid of this. Well, run the course. You can die of this kind of stuff. So run the course to me is not something you want to do. Now, there are all kinds of parasites out there. These happen to have shut down a whole lot of fast food restaurants. There's McDonald's, Taco Bell. Well, I can't even think of them because I don't go to fast food restaurants mostly. If I do, it's McDonald's or Taco Bell. So I'm not going there lately. And it's very seldom. But all of these places have been shut down or not serving anything like that. But they can, you got to make sure your cooking space is clean. I want you to be very, very careful. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to take, but about 10 years ago, I got parasites from sushi, and it was from a health food store where they were demonstrating sushi that they were going to start carrying. I thought, oh, great. Now you can get really good sushi. In a lot of the big stores, they have those little places where they have Japanese chefs, mostly, chopping up the fish and making it into sushi for you. Well, lo and behold, I decided I would try one bite, and that one bite made me sick for 2 years. 2 years. I got parasites. And I'm going to be very gross here. My stomach was bloated. I felt horrible. I went to bed. I'd go to the bathroom. I had bloody stool. And I went to the doctor, and the doctor gave me like ivermectin, something like that, which only made me worse. It made me so sick I couldn't get out of bed. So then I got my husband, I want you to take me to a gastrointestinal doctor. I don't care who he is. Let's get one from a friend. So I went to that one. That didn't do any work for me, didn't help me at all. And then I said, okay, I'm going to the CDC, Center for Disease Control. Well, I looked it up in the phone book and everything else on phone book on the internet. And I found a doctor in West LA. We were living in Beverly Hills at the time. And this guy wanted me to start all over. And he was training somebody to follow in his footsteps. He was disgusting. He wouldn't help me at all. He didn't do anything. So that's when me, who had been in the natural health business with my magazine forever, I said, oh, this is BS. I'm going to take care of it myself. All the while, I could hardly stand up. I was so weak. Getting skinnier and skinnier because I didn't want to eat. I was so sick, but always with a bloated stomach. Same time, my daughter is pregnant, and we're giving her a bridal shower, a baby shower. And she's out to here with her tummy. She's due in a month. And I'm out to there with my bloated stomach from parasites that I have growing in me. Oh my God. How embarrassing. When I look back at those pictures, I don't even know how I was able to go to the shower. I was so sick. So me, who owned the Natural Health magazine, I decide I'm going to go the natural health way. And I went into a health food store and I started asking them about different things that would help my condition. And they came up with some interesting things. Now, I'm not telling you to go take them. I'm telling you to get on the internet and look them up and just search parasites and they'll come up with some natural things too. So I found oil of oregano, black walnut with garlic, cloves, and wormwood. Wormwood itself, what a horrible name, but it goes after those worms, I'll tell you that. Then your body becomes filled with heavy metals and they kind of protect the parasites in your body. So that's why you want to get things that will block the heavy metals and get rid of those too, like the black walnut and those things like that. So those are some of the things I think you should try. I think you should get something like a great laxative to get rid of these things. Now, if you've got this horrible new one with all of the diarrhea, I'm not sure you should take a laxative. I think you're going enough. It should be flushing those things out of you. But you have to take care of your health during this because it's very dangerous, especially if you get a fever, something like that, and you're feeling weak and dehydrated. Now, you better contact your doctor. This is nothing to fool around with. So those are some of the things I want you to look for. That's with this new one, but it's also to try to help the 3.5 billion people that get parasites. 1.5% are from soil-driven parasites. That's the ones that get onto the lettuce and the spinach and the things like that. I'm not so sure it doesn't even get onto things like broccoli growing up on something or tomatoes or anything like that. You don't know and you can't see them. So I would take heed, and we all know it's good to eat green leafy vegetables. I would cut them out. I would just flat out cut them out. Go take some of these already processed powders they have out now to make smoothies and all, and use that for a little bit because those have gone through a bunch of heat and all sorts of other things to get them in those cans. So I would do something like that, but don't fool around with it. Okay? First COVID, now this. What's with the C's? Everything starts with the C is bad. Cancer. I mean, truly, what is that? It's just weird to me. I want you to know you should also get on the internet and look up and see what these parasites look like. The most common ones in food are roundworms and hookworms. And there's probably 25 to 50 different ones in places that are tropical and subtropical. So like when you go to the Caribbean, someplace like that, and then of course into Africa and places. If you walk in the sand into the water or just take long walks on it, their sand is full of parasites. It's unfortunate, but these people, I don't know if they build up their own immunity to it or what. Who knows? It's just horrible. Okay. So wash your vegetables several times, and I wouldn't put those manufactured sprays and things on my vegetables. Just the warm water splashing down on it in a good stream, washing each one. Be sure you get into the middle of it and everything else. Dry it off, and it wouldn't hurt to do it again. Okay? And always wash your hands. So I think that's it for today for parasites. You know, they're They can get in your blood. They can get in your nose. It just makes me itch thinking about it. Sorry. It can get in your nose. It can get in your throat. It can get in your ears. It can get in your heart, your blood. Their parasites are nothing to fool around with either. So consult your doctor. If you prefer to go to a medical doctor, that's good because a lot of them now know what parasites are and they will talk about it. So it's a good thing for you to do. Go to your doctor or a holistic doctor or somebody like that, a health food store. Let's get rid of those parasites and make you feel better. Now, excuse me. I'm sorry. I just have this paralyzed vocal cord that acts up once in a while. So, what I want to talk about for just a little bit is these drugs that people are taking now to lose weight. You know, I've told you from the very beginning, I think they're a very bad idea. You can get any doctor. If your doctor won't prescribe them for you, there's a bunch of them standing on the street corner that will prescribe it. It's big money for the pharmaceutical companies and big money for the doctors. It's going to be big money for you too when you have to take care of all of the side effects you're having. If you have seen any of these women who take the weekly shot in their tummy or someplace else, if they have decided you can shoot up in an arm or something, if you look at them, oh yeah, now you can take it by pill. They've got them in capsules or pills if you don't like to shoot up. This is a crazy world we're living in, I'm telling you. So these women have gone out and done this, and they're touting how they love it and how wonderful it is. But if you see them on television, and you will see some women that are influencers on the net, you will see radio hosts, radio, television hosts, network news hosts, all sorts of people interviewed, everything else. Okay, I've got wrinkles, but I'm telling you, I'd rather have wrinkles than have all my face having disappeared, totally disappeared, because these drugs are not just targeting the excess fat on your belly and hips. It's taking fat out of everywhere. You got to have a little fat. It holds everything together. It's like people who say, I'm not going to have cholesterol anymore. Well, okay, don't have any cholesterol anymore and take those cholesterol pills, those statins and everything else. They're no good for you. They can make you very ill. With those statins and things that are supposed to lower your cholesterol, which you need in your body, everybody has to have some cholesterol in their body, just like they have to have blood in their body. You got to get those things in your blood and in your cells and all to be healthy and strong and fight off disease. So I lost my train of thought because of, they're now, these women are also becoming ill from these things. I think it's terrifying. I would not use it. So I keep saying, I said this from the very beginning, I wouldn't take that. And I'd like to lose some pounds I've put on in all my long years, probably because we eat ice cream every evening. It's not good for you, but the doctors and the pharmaceuticals are making a fortune. You know, those things can be $50 a week or more. They can be as much as $3,000 a month. It's ridiculous. What are you doing to yourself? Well, you're in trouble now because you can't eat green leafy vegetables. People, Why don't you go back to something like the Mediterranean diet that's healthy? Do you ever hear about all the people in Paris, France, and Firenze, Italy, walking around with tons of parasites in their bodies? What do they eat? They eat a Mediterranean healthy diet. They balance their protein and they balance their carbs, and they get along fine. Okay? So stop doing that. And be careful where you buy your ground meat and how they take care of it. And the same with the fish. When you're getting these things to eat, you want to be very careful. And of course, when you're on a diet like this, on these injections, you probably want more of the green vegetables, leafy green vegetables, and you probably want more of the protein from the fish. But be careful, beware where you buy the ground things and even the fresh fish, because you can find pictures on the internet that have not been tampered with, where you can see some of the fish that does have worms in it. So I want you to be very careful. All right, so we are having quite a time with Iran and what's going on over there. President Trump has had it with them. Every time Iran says they want to make a peace agreement, they get together. He doesn't go over there anymore. Some of his people go over, like Scott Bassett and Laura Trump's husband. No, Ivanka, she passed away. Ivana's husband, I can't think of his name. Total blank in my head today. I have too many things on my head. They're talking to them, but they're not going to talk to them anymore, because every time Iran says, let's sit down and make an agreement, they don't show up. They send threatening letters, we're going to kill all of you. Well, they've been killing us for 47 years. Go back in history and don't just take it from me. Take it from history reports. They are not the people that you want to be around. This regime just wants to be bloody and kill everybody, and that's what they're doing. Another young man was hung the other night. He was a young man who was helping to shelter some of the protesters in the streets that were young people. And somebody turned him in for doing this. And so they took him and they locked him up. And who knows what the heck they did to him when they had him locked up. But 2 days ago, they took him out and had a public hanging. Just because he was being wonderful and kind and trying to protect other people, his life was taken. He was the only son of his parents also. And this goes on all the time. You had the men who were athletes, and then the women who didn't want to wear their hijabs when they were competing in something I've forgotten. There's so many things going on over there, and the torture and what they're doing. And now what they're doing is threatening us again and not talking. I want to tell you about Pickaxe Mountain. Pickaxe Mountain. Let's see where it is. I have a lot of notes here. I could talk all day on parasites. It says the CDC, where I told you I went, is working to protect people from these health threats. They're just telling you that you can get something. And sooner or later, they'll tell you to go get the natural things to take it care. Okay, Pickaxe Mountain is known locally as Kuangazla. I'm sure I didn't pronounce any of that correctly. is a heavily fortified, deep underground Iranian nuclear-related facility. It is located in the Zagros mountain range, roughly 1.5 to 2 kilometers, which is about a mile, south of the Natanz uranium enrichment. The uranium enrichment complex in Isfahan province, approximately 140 miles south of Tehran. Now, this is why we're worried about this, because this horrible regime, which has had a couple different leaders because we've taken them out, and we will take these out too because they have now caused the life of some of our people to be taken. This is what it looks like, and this is why we want it out. The depth of this pickaxe mountain is in Iran. I just told you how close it is to Tehran. 140 miles, that's pretty close. The depth is estimated to be buried at least 100 meters or 328 feet to over 450 feet deep beneath solid rock and mountain, making it heavily resistant to standard airstrikes. That's deep. I don't think I'd want to be down there myself. Construction began around late 2020, following an explosion and suspected sabotage at the above-ground advanced centrifuge manufacturing plant at Natanz. Iran initially declared, I have to read these because I don't want to get the facts wrong, and I took this off the internet. The stated use, Iran initially declared to the International Atomic Energy Agency that the underground hulls were intended as a replacement site to assemble advanced uranium-enriched centrifuges. Those are the ones that kill you. They put them in, they send them off, boom, and you melt into a puddle because of the atomic weapon they are using. Suspected capabilities are international non-proliferation analysts and Western intelligence suggest the massive underground space could accommodate uranium enrichment cascades or other sensitive nuclear weaponization tasks. The significance and the status of this is what I'm going to tell you about now. Security for it. The site features hardened tunnel portal entrances, reinforced blast protection, and multi-layered security perimeter integrated with the broader Natanz complex. In other words, they've taken security from all over to protect this place where they have all of the nuclear weapons stored. Current satellite imagery analysis by groups like Institute for Science and International Security indicates that while construction and external hardening have accelerated following prior regional strikes, the facility is not yet confirmed to be fully operational. Now, that was from broadcast on CNBC. You can find information on this on most of the big news stations like ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, Fox. They have little moments where they talk about all this. But if you want to get in it to a little deeper so you can really take it into your head and process it, go onto the internet. I did a Google search on it. That's how I found it. Okay, let's see. The satellite in it, I read that to you. Okay, not fully operational yet. Geopolitical focus, the site gained intense international attention as U.S. and Israeli military strategists weighed options regarding its deep subterranean architecture, with U.S. leadership publicly threatening potential military action against it. Do you remember way back with President Bush, I believe it was, when we went visiting and all, and They looked at things, said everything is okay. Are you kidding me? This has been going on for years. So I think that's that. Now, what we're going to do is we have discovered that they're not going to play our game and say, okay, we'll be good boys. I can't say good boys and girls because they don't allow girls to speak. They have to make them stay covered up. We need to take more people and we need to end this war. And this is my opinion. And my opinion's good. We can't let this go on any longer. Now we're starting to lose our military personnel. The war in Iran or surrounding Iran. We need to get rid of this regime. I don't know if we could send special troops in there or SEAL people to get rid of them. Who knows? It's the creepiest regime around. And they get these people that they hate us. They just want to kill us all. And they want to kill their own people. That's what I find so disgusting. They're killing off their youth. And I mean their youth that are teenagers and young adults in their 20s. Every country needs their children to keep it going. You need to replace the generations, but they're killing theirs. They're destroying their infrastructure. It's crazy. So that's why we are attacking Iran. We've been keeping it to the Strait of Hormuz, but we've also been going after their power plants and things like that. Now they have awakened our president to the idea that we are in a full-fledged war with them. And so he's sending more weapons over there, more troops over there, and medics over there. And man, if I was in a regime, which I never would be because I'm a woman, you better settle down. Give your weapons to the United States. Get them out of there. They will be secured, whatever. But we're not going to allow you to have atomic weapons, nuclear weapons. We're just not doing it. And we are going to get rid of them by bombing. And we'll be bombing energy places, bridges, oil. That's what you want to hear because this has got to end. Presidents before us never did anything about it. They just talked. Oh, one president took a lot of money over there and gave it back to them. Supposedly that they had put here in the United States to keep their money safe. They got it back by President Obama. So that made them happy. Didn't make me happy, but because that just went to show that Obama, to me, was a traitor. And there you go. Then you had Grandpa Biden trying to run the place. I don't think he even understands what any of it is. It needs to be put to bed. So, President Trump, I'm urging you, along with many other people in this country, to let's finish it. We need to get rid of these people before they get rid of any more nations. And that's what they're doing. And they're threatening the other countries in the Middle East because they are our allies and they've become our allies. And now the Iranians are threatening them. And then you have the Houthis and the wandering Bedouins like that put together these groups like the Houthis. They're violent people that are going everywhere and killing them. And the interesting thing to me, when you get somebody like Mayor Mandami elected, and he is talking about getting rid of and arresting Netanyahu when he goes into the meeting they're all having, he can't do that. Who the hell does he think he is? He can't suddenly become the mayor of New York and think he's actually the president of the United States. Oh, maybe he doesn't believe in presidents. Maybe he just believes in Mandami. Look what he's already done to it. People can't get food. People have been doing interviews on television about how their rent is not paying the bills for the owners of the buildings. They've lowered the rent so low, they can't make repairs in them. The guy is nuts. There has been this back street, back alley contingent of people in the United States that have been plotting for years trying to do this, and they've indoctrinated people that are now in their 30s and 40s that are running for office in our country, and they say they're socialist Democrats, I think SD something, I don't know. I don't care. I only care because they are trying to destroy our democracy, our republic. People, this is how it starts. Like when Hitler used to go into the buildings and have these big rallies, and he turned the people around because he was promising things that would never happen, but they didn't know that. They were looking for a better life. And he destroyed their lives. He destroyed everybody's life. And the worst thing he did is he destroyed the Jews. The things that went on in Germany and outside Germany with the Nazis was something we never, ever want to see again. But I fear if we don't stop these people, like the Mandamis and AOC even, who is purportedly going to be the #1 running Democrat person for president nominee, they want to get rid of these people. How can you do that? We're all the same. We just happen to worship a different God in a different way. This is horrible. I don't want my grandchildren to grow up like this. I don't want my friends to be frightened to go out at night, or worse than that, for them to go to their temple to pray. You know, during COVID, you all forget right away what happened. They closed our Christian churches. People met in parking lots to pray. Thank you, Biden and cronies. This is what COVID was all about, I think. They let that thing escape, and they idolized Fauci. Now we find out he was a crook. He was responsible for it. This is the most dangerous time in our country. And we just celebrated our 250th birthday. Let's not lose it, people. Let's keep it. Raise your kids to be good politicians and run for office to take care of others, like our good people in Congress have taken care of you. Don't get nervous over a few high grocery things. Remember when eggs were $6 a carton and more? Well, they're back to a normal price. Things need to get adjusted and balanced. Go to the gas station, and yes, gas is creeping up again because of the ships being hit in the Hormuz Strait there. Can't get out. But around the country, gas is not nearly as expensive as it is in California with that jerk Newsom. If he ever got to be president, you'd really be in trouble. He has so many taxes on the gas. That's why our gas in California goes up. We're rich in oil. Let's use it. Okay, I'm going to quit a few minutes early today because I've got to get out and help my husband and catch up on everything I haven't done lately. And also, I'm going to try to fix my laptop the way that wonderful Juan told me how to do it. So I thank you for listening in today. We're going through changes here, and everything's going to be better. And I'm thrilled to have you listening to me, and some of you send me little notes and thank you. And I try to talk to you about things that you ask about. For instance, one of my girlfriends asked me about a cashless society the other day. So hold on to your cash, people. You can use it, but if it goes cashless, you won't have any to use. And the government and the tax people and everybody will know exactly what you're putting on your credit cards. So that, to me, that's not the way to go. All right. Okay, remember this: cherish yesterday, dream tomorrow, and live today. Thanks, everybody.